How you guys doing again? This is your buddy down at Spike Melo Juice. We're going to be doing another demonstration. Right now I'm going to show you how I go about preparing a hookah bowl with the Spike Melo Juice in a way that makes sure that you still get really good smoke whenever you smoke your hookah, and you get a good effect from the Spike Melo Juice. So it'll help the Melo Juice dissolve better. So what I do is I get myself a paper towel and I dry it out. So just put it down here on the paper towel, and what I generally do is I just pat it, give it a nice amount of pressure, and then eventually you'll be able to see the juice start to seep through the paper towel, and that's a lot of that excess juice that's on the shisha coming out into the paper towel here. Get that, and then roll it and give it a nice hard squeeze. And yeah, it makes a little bit of a mess, but that's the name of the game when you're dealing with shisha. So now you're gonna want to flush the shisha out. I'll go ahead and put a couple drops on here, maybe about 5 since it's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go ahead and mix it in really well. Make sure it gets all throughout the shisha. And the Spike Melo Juice, it has a real light, herbally, kind of clovey smell to it almost. I like how it smells actually. See, you'll start to smell it kind of coming off the shisha once you start getting it in there really well. Alright, so yeah, after you get this all done, you're just going to go ahead and grab your bowl like you normally would and sprinkle it in there lightly. You don't want to pack it in too hard because that's going to prevent the airflow from being what you want it to be. So go ahead and just get you a nice handful, sprinkle it in there, kind of let it build on top, fill it all day. So my favorite method just so happens to be smoking it with the hookah. So right here we got a little bit of perfection. Alright, so now that we have the bowl packed nice and evenly, we have the Spike Melo Juice distributed on top of the shisha, throughout the shisha, inside of the shisha evenly. We have a really nice smell. It's time to go ahead and foil the top. When getting into the realm of hookah, they have many methods. They sell metal screens that you can just place on top that has ventilation for the heat to come down into it. But my personal favorite method is just to cut a square of aluminum foil. You want to get something that's pretty high density. You don't want to get the really flimsy papery foil. You want to get the heavy duty stuff. I won't say any name brands, but the heavy duty aluminum foil. So you just want to make sure that when you put the foil on, that it's nice and tight. Put it over. Try to get it as even as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect as far as center on the square, but you don't want to leave too much space on any side. To kind of take your time with it, make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want very many wrinkles to be in it by the time you're finished. And then once you put it on there, you just kind of pull it down. Make sure it's on there nice and snug, no airflow. And then what I like to do is I like to just do a light pinch just around. I'm not really getting into where the shisha is, but just around the bowl. What that does for me is it helps me see exactly where the outside of the bowl is, like the rim of the bowl rather. Okay. Now we're gonna you can use a toothpick, a nail, some tongs that you buy with your hookah come with a little tip on it. I like to use just a tag, thumb tag. This is a super size one, we have a couple here. So I like to try to go, fairly centered, and then hit the outside. It takes a little time to get quick at doing that. Just take your time with it. Don't rush. You want to make sure that you're always. Yeah, that's about it. So now what we're gonna do is go ahead and get our coals made up, and then we'll be smoking some Spike Melo Juice out of the hookah. Bam. So we got the coals lit, we got our hookah set up and everything. Alright, so with the Spike Melo Juice, whenever you put it on a dry tobacco, they want you to let it dry a little bit, but with the shisha, it works. I don't know, you know, what can I say? We experimented with it and it's worked perfectly every time. With the wet tobacco, so naturally I don't know how much drying it actually really needs to do on a wet tobacco. I think it's more so you don't mess up your tobacco that you're smoking and having it burn incorrectly if it's a dry tobacco and you moisten it. But with the wet tobacco, apparently there's an exception. But what I do is I put my coals on and I actually leave them on there for about a minute or 2 or 3, you know, just for a little while to let it really like kind of heat up the surface of the head of the hookah for a little while. I don't just put the coals on and go smoke right away. You know, a lot of avid hookah smokers will tell you that you should do that, kind of let your bowl warm up before you even start smoking it anyway. And another thing I do is I get a windscreen. They have many different types of windscreens. You know, I just sit it on there, and this will just kind of further, you know, trap the heat in and warm the environment around the bowl and, you know, reduce airflow. You know, your coals are getting nice and hot, your bowl is getting nice and hot, and it's gonna kind of, you know, start the process of heating that shisha and getting the Melo Juice kind of cooking and going, you know, before you start smoking it. Alright, so, you know, one thing you got to be careful of, if you don't do that, then when you first start to smoke it, you're not going to get very much smoke, and you're going to have to pull and pull and pull and pull, and you're going to take way too many consecutive hits with the spiked Melo Juice, and then you'll be a little bit lightheaded. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I kind of like to let the bowl prime for a minute first, so as soon as I hit it, you start seeing smoke. And I mean, this is the same bowl. I should have marked it or something. We didn't switch it out for, you know, a non-spiked Melo Juice bowl or anything like that. It's the same thing. So go ahead and take a hit, try to get this started. Hang on, let's see. Bam. And see, like I said, as soon as I hit it, that was the first hit, milky. And I can taste the spiked Melo Juice in there. The shisha tastes really good. It's nice and cool. You know, I make sure I put cold water in whenever I prepare a hookah. The spike tastes delicious. I've actually acquired a taste for it. Like, it tastes good. Like, I like how it tastes. So how much smoke you actually can get from that, Mr. Antoine? It's one of the volunteers to trial the spiked Melo Juice. How do you feel about that?
Feel good.
How's it taste?
Nice, calming, relaxing kind of a taste. Very flavorful. Tastes a lot of mint.
Yeah, I put a lot of mint in the blend. I like mint.
But you definitely taste the mellow kind of a flavor to it as well. Definitely say, have to give the thumbs up on that. 5-star.
Yeah, so that's just the taste. We'll have to smoke on this for a little while and see how the actual effect leaves an impression on Mr. Antoine. So we'll be back in a little bit. Happy smoking. All right. So we've been smoking for only about 2 minutes. It's only been about 2 minutes, and I kid you not, the Melo has already hit me hard, seriously. As you can see, Mr. Antoine is chilling. The man is not putting on right now. You got to take your hand out to put the thumbs up. The man is not putting on right now, I'm telling you, because I'm feeling the same thing. It's crazy, like, to describe the feeling. Like, when you take the inhale, it's nice and like smooth and good. That's if you make a good hookah. And then when you exhale, you can feel it on the exhale. The last bit of the exhale, you can just feel like almost like weight coming off of you. It feels like for me, it felt like my arms felt lighter at first, and then like my shoulders and my hands and stuff. Like, and
a nice relaxing massage.
Yeah, I'm chilling, dude. So, you know, this, like I said, this isn't like the hocus pocus. This stuff is the real deal, man. Melo Juice really works. Like, if you're a person who wants to stay legal, you know, me, I don't advocate any illegal use of anything illegal. You know, this is 100% legal, 100% natural. No chemicals or anything inside of it. The Melo Juice, it works very well. And if you want a really good smoking experience with your hookah, with your e-pens, with your pipes, you know, it may take for you to experiment a little bit, see what your personal tolerance is. You know, we do have our recommended dosage on the bottle that we don't, you know, recommend anyone exceed. So, you know, we'll keep that in mind, but I know what works for me, and apparently it works for Antoine too, because my man is laid out right now. You feeling good, bro?
Good.
I'm feeling good too, man. So we're gonna chill here and enjoy this hookah and smoke on some more of this Melo Juice. Happy smoking.